Hello, my name is Elizabeth Webster, and I am a research associate at the Transnational NGO Initiative. Today, I will be conducting a brief career interview with Dean Hirsch, the former president of World Vision International. Mr. Hirsch, thank you so much for your being here today and taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you.
I'd like to start off by hearing your own brief explanation of your past work with World Vision International and the work that World Vision does in the world.
Well, let me start by saying World Vision International is an organization that is helping the children of the world. We are transnational. We have work in 100 countries of the world, and we believe that we're truly transnational. In my own journey, I started uniquely in the computer area with World Vision, but got very interested in the mission of World Vision, working with children, creating a better future, the issues of justice, and got assigned to Africa for 5 years, and was able to open many of the offices that World Vision has in Africa. And from there, I was asked to return to the United States and to open the Washington, D.C. office. And I was able to do that and work on securing grants from the U.S. government. And from there, I was asked to be the Vice President of Relief and to respond to all the disasters for World Vision International. And so from the African famines to tsunamis and different events. And then I took over the fundraising for World Vision United States, and a large organization, and went out and met with donors and also directed a team in raising money. And from there I became then the Chief Operating Officer of World Vision International and ultimately President. So I had a very unique career path. As though somebody was directing that I actually learned all about the organization from the project level to the donor level to the governmental level, all dimensions, and was able to help me when I became president.
Wow, sounds like very informational. Now, could you take us through your own career path, probably starting before, I guess, you came into World Vision, but up. You've already explained what led you to president, but a little more detailed.
I went to university and got a degree in psychology.
Okay.
And I was a resident assistant in a residence hall. It's amazing how that influenced me, and actually became the head resident. And I wanted, through that experience and my university experience, I wanted to become a university president. Okay. That's been my goal my whole life, is to be a university president. And I went off to graduate school. And I got drafted. Many people watching this won't understand what a draft is, but I got drafted. It was during the Vietnam era. And I became an officer in the military, and they sent me off to computer school. And that's how my career was redirected into computers, designing computer systems, which ultimately led me into World Vision. So for those who are watching, your career will take many different stages and many different steps, and you'll move around a lot. And don't be worried about it.
Sounds
don't be
like
worried
it.
about it.
So very different career paths and whatnot. Could you describe what a typical day for you used to look like as World Vision International President? What should students imagine?
Well, as the international president, I would come into my office every day, and I would close the door for the first half hour to get myself focused and settled. And because the day before, I'd always left a priority list. Okay. And so I didn't want to be distracted from that. And then I would meet with my executive assistant and also the general counsel, the head of the legal department for World Vision. Okay. When you're in a large organization like that, you have issues. So for 30 minutes, we discuss the different legal issues in different countries, whether it be staff issues, whether it be grant issues. And I would listen, they'd give me advice, and I would say then, okay, go ahead in this way. And from there, I programmed myself to only have 30-minute meetings. Okay. I had a principle as president. If you couldn't diagnose an issue, give me the understanding of it and give me the resolution of it and your recommendation in one page, then I wasn't going to read it. Mm-hmm. So I was a one-pager, as people call me. And they would come in, they'd give me the one page, and I would delegate a lot. I was a walking around president, and so I would walk around and ask people, how is it going, what are you doing? I tried to do that every day and see people. I would always have a lunch meeting with someone, whether it could be the Pope of the Armenian Apostolic Church, it could be a government official, but I always scheduled lunch. Everyone has to eat.
Yes.
And so I'd always schedule lunch meetings and with people that would come and we'd meet. And then in the afternoon, it could be that we'd get in lengthier systemic issue discussions. My issue was not to keep anything on my desk. And so keep it moving and to delegate and to trust people to do the work. And so my day was always busy, and then there was a lot of times there were evening functions too.
Sounds very busy. Now, if you wouldn't mind providing us with some career advice, what are some skills that you feel students should develop in general? Also, what kind of advice would you like to give students if they are interested in working in the field of NGOs?
Well, first of all, those that are watching here are students, and that's my first piece of advice. Grab all the education you can obtain, be engaged, deal with the issues, go deep, and don't be afraid to wrestle with global issues. The next issue is that I would say, for people like myself, I received hundreds, if not thousands, of CVs, resumes. And one of the things is we don't read the whole CV or resume anymore. What I do is, what did they do while they were in the university? What did they do in the areas of justice? What did they do for the poor? How were they engaged in something beyond their studies? There are a lot of students who are great in their studies, but how were they actually engaged in these issues? And we look for that. What internships did they try to have? And then we also look for language ability. A key issue, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese. We'd be looking for that. Another thing is use your time wisely in terms of in the summers, if you can, find some opportunity to do something that's unique, that's varied. And then try and have an internship in some type of overseas placement if you can. Very, very important. But those are things. And then there are things to read. Interaction has what they call monthly developments. It lists all the jobs. There's an organization called DevEx. It's a very interesting piece to read because it talks about all the work that the UN awards are being given to, and you can follow up on that. Chronicle of Philanthropy. You find out what the foundations are doing, what they're funding, and things of that sort. And then the other thing I'd say too is read The Economist, and in the first 10 pages of The Economist, you'll find out all the different jobs that are being advertised at a high level that you might want to aspire for, and you can talk and decide how would you ultimately reach that level of achievement.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, this wraps up the career interview for the Transnational NGO Initiative with Mr. Hirsch. Thank you so much for your time and your insight.
Thank you.